Lara Lewington is here alongside our Dr Hilary with all the latest health gadgets that claim they can transform our lives. Lara, magic mirrors.
Yes, so this is the Anura, and the question is, can a selfie tell you everything you want to know about your health?
Right.
So it records a 30-second selfie video and from there aims to give you a whole host of physical and psychological results. So things like blood pressure, pulse rate, breathing rate, how stressed you are, and also your risk of type 2 diabetes, your risk of having a stroke. Yeah, now, how does it do this? Well, the company has data on 40,000 people, their health conditions, and the signs from their faces. So it'll then look at your face, match it up, make those correlations and predictions. And I had a go with it in Las Vegas last year. And what was interesting to me was I had to do it a couple of times because filming, we had to get a couple of different angles.
Sure.
And it also does a skin age reading. And this skin age reading, the first time I was filming was 36, which I was incredibly happy with. And the second time was 38. So there was a bit of variation instantly.
Right.
The variation in the readings was very, very small, so I don't know whether you would actually say some of them were negligible, never mind the face ageing, but the other readings. But it does do some very interesting things. Well, it claims to, but what do you make of that?
Yes, indeed.
Well, look, I don't know how on earth it could check your blood pressure reliably. Nah, I wouldn't rely on a reading like that from a mirror. Yes, it can visually look at your skin texture and say what your age would perhaps be.
Right.
But as for these other claims, put it in clinical trials first before you make these outrageous claims. I certainly wouldn't rely on it for blood pressure and heart rate. And then what are you going to do if you find out it's abnormal? Go and see your doctor anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't think...
True.
Look in the mirror maybe, but also you need your healthcare professional.
Yes,
absolutely. That's right.
100%.
You're definitely not out of a job.
No, no, we don't want that to happen. What about hormone tracking, though? This is an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So this is the hormometer. And the idea is that it can track your cortisol levels and also, at the moment, for women, it does progesterone. Now, the way this works is there's a sample kit which looks a bit like a pregnancy test,
right,
but you actually put it in your mouth. It's saliva that you need on it.
OK.
And then you sync it to your phone. You just sort of scan with your phone the sample kit after it's been in your mouth.
Right.
And it will give you these readings. So for cortisol, say, you would do it several times a day, a couple of times a month. So you would build this graph of how your cortisol levels should look throughout the day.
OK.
And for the progesterone levels, well, it's also going to build these patterns. So using it longer term, you start to see longer term patterns and potentially understand a bit more about what's going on. They're now looking at kits for testosterone for men,
right,
and for estradiol for women as well.
Ah,
yeah.
Fascinating.
And it's interesting. Yeah. Certainly they can test accurately what your cortisol level is and your progesterone level is at that moment.
Right.
But actually it's meaningless. Unless you had extremely high levels or extremely low levels, which Cushing's disease or Addison's disease, then you know, you'd have to go and see your doctor then anyway, and you'd have symptoms. So what does it mean? It's going to be higher in the morning anyway. We know that. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
It's going to be lower in the evening, and it's going to fluctuate during the day. So looking at one reading doesn't tell you anything. Looking at serial readings tells you a bit more. But even then, how do you interpret that result? You still need someone to interpret for you. If you're feeling stressed, you're going to feel it anyway. Do you really need a saliva test? Not sure.
Would it make you feel better? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know, that's the
more
thing,
stress.
Isn't it? Well, look, everybody is looking for ways for a better night's sleep, aren't they? And what is this thing now? What does this do?
So this is an eye massager.
Oh, right, OK.
You put it on. Do you want to model it for us?
Shall I model it? Well,
yes,
it looks something like this.
Oh, you look like Fearless Fly.
OK.
It warms up, it can play music, and it also gives you a bit of an eye massage. So if I actually turn the device on, it will speak a little bit. And it sort of feels like it's squeezing your face.
Right.
The air pressure and the heat is kind of pushing on your eyes. It's a reasonable sensation, but it does feel a little bit weird to do whilst talking. I think you need to be lying down
You need to be lying down with whale music or something going on.
It's not sending me to sleep now.
Yeah, you can Bluetooth your playlist to that, which is nice. And any kind of scalp massage, massage around the eyes is nice. It's got 3 levels of heat, so it says it can treat puffiness around the eyes. Not so sure. Heat probably makes puffiness worse. But look, it's quite cheap. It's not expensive.
Right, it's not going to do any harm.
And it's quite soothing.
Right.
What I would say is you need to be very careful about hygiene on the internal part of the mask because if you're constantly putting it on your face, it's going to collect bacteria. So stringent hygiene needed.
It's covered in makeup already.
There you go.
Now, lots of us worry if you've got an elderly relative or somebody that we love who's a little bit older. There's always that danger of them maybe falling over, and that's a worry. But there is high tech that can at least alert you.
Yes,
How
and there's
does
a bit of a trend towards not having cameras watching people, but having sensors around the home.
Right.
So for an older loved one, you can identify by their movement, and this one, in fact, plugs into the wall and through Wi-Fi signal can tell movement in front of the device.
Right.
And so it can identify if someone's nearly fallen or fallen to be able to send an alert to loved ones.
Wow, that's amazing. But what if you were just lying down?
Well, it does identify the complexity of patterns fairly well. So I'd imagine it would know that you had gradually lay down rather than suddenly
And
collapse.
there's kind of like that thing of, at least you're not being filmed. At least you're not, you know, it's not invasive.
No, and that's it. There are lots of the wearable alarms people have, but then there was a phase of cameras, but this is a less intrusive one.
Yeah, I'm very much in favour of fall alarms generally because too many people fall, elderly people, disabled people fall, and they can't get help. But if you can press a button, get the help from a notified carer, that's important.
Here's something I thought I'd never say. We have got our hands on the mattress topper used by the stars. Right, come on. Let's go over here and have a wee look. Now, so this is a mattress topper that apparently says, or apparently will, help us to sleep.
Yes, that's
Tell me about
right.
this
It
now.
is rumoured to have been used by Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, sorry, the bed just squeaked quite a bit.
Yes, it did.
And Scarlett Johansson, not all together in the same bed,
No,
obviously.
that would be interesting.
Now, the mattress topper connects to a smartphone. It's called the 8 Sleep Pod 4.
Yes.
And it can provide a different temperature on each side of the bed. So if you and your partner want different temperatures, that could be the solution.
I want boiling hot, he wants freezing cold.
Exactly.
Okay.
This goes from 13 degrees to 43 degrees, so you've got
Pretty
choice.
drastic difference.
Yes.
And also, when it wakes you up in the morning, it has a sort of vibrating function.
Oh,
so
hello.
it'll just... It's not meant to be too exciting, but it'll just shake you a little bit to gently wake you up. So the idea is that it's actually a gentle wake up, and you can also have the warmth come on maybe in the morning just before you wake up, so you don't wake up cold.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money, though, isn't it?
I love this. I don't love the price. £3 grand.
No, that's it. It's
£3,000.
it's £3 grand. So there may have been a lot of excitement in tech circles, but there is.
You know,
Yeah, I mean, it saves you throwing the duvet off if you're hot, throwing it back on, curling up if you're too cold, but it's a lot of money.
They'll make cheaper versions.
Yeah, they will.
It's comfortable.
Lara, thank you. Go in there, have a wee lie down.
Bonsoir.
We've got a sensor, so we'll be fine. Well, that's a wrap for this video. We hope you enjoyed it. We have all the best moments from the show right here on the channel, and if you like this video, then we think you'll love this one. See you next time.